Hey guys, welcome back to another speed video. This is rebooting my comic number 45, I believe, if I have the timing correctly. So, in this video, clearly you will see me working on a page, and I believe this is page 2. Yeah, this is page 2 of the comic. But, the subject that I wanted to talk about today was creativity and loss. So, as of the recording of this audio, it is currently the beginning of October, but you guys probably won't see this video until near the end of November, if not after November, just depending on the timeline. But anyway, so for those who don't know, I had a dog. Her name was Tiger. And I think in previous videos you guys have either seen her in the background or in like previous videos not related to the comic, or you guys have heard me talking to her in the background. I've had Tiger for, I want to say close to 15 years almost. I want to say like 14 and a half years. So that puts Tiger at almost 16 years old. Currently at the time of this recording, Tiger has since passed due to her health severely declining and just her not being able to have a normal quality of life. I did make the decision to have her euthanized, and it was a hard decision. It has been, I want to say, 4 months since I've had her euthanized, and it still does affect me. Even now, I'm getting emotional talking about it, but I wanted to bring this up because I know as artists, I think that a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people, but some people might expect us to put either our feelings into art or to just kind of delve into our art to kind of help with dealing with the emotions, and for me that was definitely not the case. When I lost Tiger, I did not want to do anything. Like I still went to work because you know I did have bills, but as far as wanting to do anything as far as like creating art, clean my house, like just I guess like normal normal everyday things, like it was a huge struggle. I had no energy to create. I'm pretty sure I probably hit a bout of depression because I did have Tiger for so long. She genuinely was my ride or die. I had her before I moved to the city that I was living in, and then so yeah, I've had her for quite a while. And yeah, I guess I'm making this to say that if you are someone who is, struggling with loss, or you do have loss, and you are a creative individual, or even if you're not a creative individual, but I know this is specifically dealing with creativity and loss, you do what's best for you in order to grieve. For me, that was, even though everyone that did know about Tiger, in that situation, was reaching out and constantly checking on me. And the funny thing is even though people had good intentions, I genuinely just wanted to be left alone. I needed that solitude to process. And I know some people, they need to be around people and stuff like that. But I know for me personally, I need alone time to process my feelings. So, and even though I wasn't creative for a while, I didn't hold that against me. And I think that's another thing as well, giving yourself grace to do what is best for you in order to work through those feelings. So if that requires you taking some time off, then go ahead and do so, and don't feel like you need to feel guilty about not creating, or put yourself down for not creating, no matter how long that amount of time it may be. Give yourself the time that you need to process, and do what you need to do within, I guess, safety for yourself and others. What you need to do in order to process those feelings. For me, like I said, it was a lot of solitude. I gave myself the permission to pretty much do nothing. If it necessarily didn't involve the taking care of my own well-being, and the necessary things I needed to do, eating. Well, I guess that goes into well-being, bathing, and taking care of myself that way. I really didn't really want to be bothered for the most part. I would have friends or family who would text or call, and I know it sucks, but there were times where I just would see a call or a text message, and I would just let it ring, or I wouldn't respond back, because I didn't want to talk to anybody, and for some people, I didn't want to have to either hurt their feelings and deal with that, or have to deal with trying to have someone, I don't want to say force me, but in a sense, try to have a conversation that I don't want to have. So I just pretty much kind of removed myself from a lot of situations or environments that would require me to communicate with other people. So yeah, once I did start feeling a sense of that I was able to create, I would go ahead and do that, but I wouldn't push myself. So, if whether it be 10 minutes, if that was as much as I could do, that was as much as I could do. There were times where I would even pull out my art supplies and get ready to draw, and as soon as I sat down, I was like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work, and I would put myself up and keep it moving. Now, like I said, as of the recording of this audio, it is the beginning of October, one thing I did do, and this isn't necessarily related to loss, but I did give myself permission to not work on my comic for a whole month. The month of September, I did not work on my comic. And I know that kind of seemed counterproductive at the time, because I was trying to have this comic done by the end of the year, and whether I can still accomplish that or not, it is what it is. But at the same time, I don't want to continue to push myself until I completely lose interest in the product or the project itself, because I burnt myself out. And I mean, that could be also a sense of loss when you've literally burned yourself out so much on a project that you genuinely love that you just no longer have any interest in it. And it kind of, in a sense, because the project kind of dies where it's at, and you kind of have to fight through those emotions of, do you force yourself to continue to work on it, or do you let it go? But yeah, that's all I kind of wanted to say with this when it comes to creativity and loss. Sometimes it's okay to take a step back from the thing you have a passion for, to give yourself that time and space to process any emotions that you have related to loss, whether it be a family member, a friend, a pet, a job, or whatever the case may be, right? Maybe a season in your life that, you maybe have struggled through, or, the ups and downs, and ebbs and flows of life. So yeah, there's that. But on that note, I guess I'll end this on a more positive note. I am going to be adopting another dog. For those who don't know, I don't think I've mentioned it in any of the videos. Tiger was a street dog that I took in, and she literally was. I literally found her on the streets. Maybe one day, if you guys are interested, I'll make a blog post on my website about how I came to have Tiger. But I did find her on the morning, like early mornings of New Year's Day. So I would celebrate her birthday on New Year's. 'Cause that's when I found her, or she found me, in a sense. Like I said, it's a story for a different day, if you guys would like to hear that. But, yeah, so I'm adopting another dog. He is a Pit Bull Terrier mix. He is about 2.5 years old. He is with a foster at the moment. I am supposed to be picking him up, I think this Saturday. And I've already had a meet and greet with him. He's a beautiful dog. He's got a great personality, very active. Definitely kind of reminds me of Tiger, in some ways. But of course, dogs have their own personality, just like humans do. Which is not the reason I adopted him. I originally wasn't planning on adopting another dog anytime soon. But it just so happened that a friend of mine, who I don't think ever really posted dogs for adoption, had posted him on her IG page, and I immediately was captured by him. So she told me if she wanted to have get in contact with the person who was fostering him. I said yeah. We did a meet and greet. Instantly fell in love with him. Did the application. Everything went through. I heard back a few days ago, and so most likely I'm going to be picking him up Saturday. So he's about I think I said this already, but he's 2.5 years old. He's going to need a lot of training, which is fine. I'm willing to put in the work. I did train both my 2 previous dogs, the one I had, the Tiger, and then the one I had. Me and my ex had gotten together, that she now has. But yeah, so that's it. I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Maybe when I get, so the dog, so Milo is the dog's name. I am going to rename him 7. Per my grandma's request. She asked that, this is before I did the adoption with Milo, but she asked that when I get another dog that I name it 7 for her. And I said yes, so I'm going to end up renaming Milo 7. So yeah. But maybe after I get him, maybe one day I'll do a video, just kind of showing him and his new home and everything like that. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope this video was useful, and I shall talk to you guys later. Peace out.